What are your thoughts about marriage in general today? What do you think about the institution of marriage? Do you think it's outdated? What do you think about marriage?
I don't think it's outdated. I think it's good when you're ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to each his own.
I've been married 3 times, so I don't know. I finally got it right after 3 times.
I don't think that marriage is necessarily outdated. I still believe strongly in the institution of marriage.
I don't think you need a piece of paper. A lot of people think it's outdated and they're okay with just like maybe living together and that kind of thing, but I still think a lot of women might want more than that.
I don't think too many people take it seriously. I think it used to mean something. I don't think it means something anymore.
Yeah, I would be content if I were just a girl living my life by myself, maybe, if that's the way it took me. Then I wouldn't be married, and that's perfectly okay.
The rate of the age of single people is a lot higher to me. Like, people want to have their life before they even think about getting married. Everybody wants to be like Sex and the City.
I, of course, think it's a wonderful institution. I was married for 30 years, but divorced after that.
Do you think that we should redefine marriage as it stands?
I don't know if we necessarily need to change the definition of marriage, but I think that there is an opportunity to look at different forms of unions.
As far as marriage is concerned, it seems to be limited as far as who can get married.
We think that gays should be allowed to marry.
You do?
We do.
Oh, yeah.
I believe in marriage so much I've done it twice.
Some people have very successful and long-term relationships without ever marrying. I'm not pleased that the government seems to think it needs to regulate it. It is being discriminatory.
I think it should kind of be redefined to a degree of where, 50 years ago it was broke down where the man always went out and, brought home the paycheck and the wife was cleaning and taking care of the kids.
We've gone so far away from like roles, men have certain roles, women have certain roles, and for some reason our society has just decided to say no. The structure of the family hasn't changed, but we as a society, for some reason, think we need to change it or make it different or make it more progressive or accept things that I think we don't need to accept or that are there that break down a family, I think.
I think if gay people want to get married, they should be able to get married. I mean, I think that the religious part of it comes into play in most people's opinion. Like, I don't care, but I think that's what the biggest challenge of it is like, we have like religious texts that kind of define marriage in a way, and sometimes that kind of seeps into lawmaking.
What do you think the divorce rate is 50% these days? Why do you think that there's so much divorce? What do you think the reason?
I mean, the divorce rate is probably the way it is because people, men and women, both have probably more economic opportunity and more equality.
I'll let you answer that one.
I think a lot of people jump into it too quickly, and I can say that because I was one of them.
I just think that people don't take enough time to learn another person.
And a lot of times people realize if they've made a mistake, they don't have to live with that forever or make their children suffer for it either. So they can go on and hopefully be happier and enjoy their lives and not do damage to themselves or others.
There's no till death do we part anymore. Most of them go into it half expecting to have at least one divorce, if not multiple.
People aren't working out their problems or sticking together just for the sake of kids anymore. So it's like the divorce rate is high because people feel as if they can survive on their own.
I think people would rather just get married and then get divorced as opposed to not get married in the first place.
People decide they want to be happier. I think a long time ago people stayed together because women didn't have much choice in their lives. They didn't have the ability to support themselves.
People are looking for that high or that feeling of love constantly, and of course the peaks and valleys that you have, the highs and the lows, it's harder. People don't last through the lows because they don't have that feeling of responsibility to that person or to maintaining the community. It's whatever is self-gratifying at the moment.
And it's what everybody strives for, to have that, kind of Ozzie and Harriet kind of lifestyle, but the fact of the matter is it just doesn't exist. We have to learn how to go through the conflicts that you have with somebody else, because you're always going to have it.